Hi friends, it's Paige Evans and welcome back to a second process video for today's cut file. It's day 11 of 12, a love you heart. So I had cut out all of the cut files to create the images that I share in my daily email and my blog, and the layout that I made featuring the cut file, the previous video, I had shrunk it down and cut it out from pattern papers, and so I was left with the cut file that I had originally cut out, and I thought, well, you know what? Let's just make a layout because I had it and it was just sitting there, and so here we go. I have the cut file cut out from white textured cardstock to about 11 inches in size, and then I'm using my new Splendid collection to embellish. So I pulled out a fuchsia or raspberry pink pattern paper background. I've placed the cut file on top in the center, and now I'm coming in with the flowers from Splendid and placing them underneath the heart, around the curve of the heart. So I'm not going to place them underneath the title where it says love you, but just underneath the rest of the heart. And I'm not gluing anything down yet. I'm just trying to space the flowers evenly apart. So we've got a nice mix of the reds, orange, yellows, blues, and then even adding a couple green leaves here and there to bring out the greens of the collection. And as I've done in the previous videos, something I like to do to add life and texture and more interest to floral die cuts is to pinch them and crease them and pinch the petals and just give them some lifelike qualities. And it's just a simple step that only takes a few extra minutes, and I just love the way it looks when that texture is added. So I'm going to begin adhering things down. I've got my favorite liquid glue, the Bearly Arts glue, so I'm going to dab here and there, and then just a dab underneath the flowers so that the petals can still lift and bend to create those ever important dimension and shadows. So adding a line underneath, and I will glue all of the flowers in place. Before this, I did take a picture with my phone just in case my naughty kitties jumped up on the table and started using the flowers as toys or something, any bumping it wrong, and so the flowers go flaying, splaying. Sorry, can't think of the word I'm trying to use, but the flowers go everywhere. So take a picture so I can refer back to it if anything goes awry. So I have printed 2 photos of me and my husband. This was on our 14th anniversary last year, so May 2021. Printed them to 3 by 4 inches and trimmed them out, leaving a white border so that it's got a nice contrast from the background. So everything is glued except for the photos. I do want to add some mixed media, and rather than gluing the photos and then covering them, I just took off the photos first. So I'm splattering watered down white acrylic paint, and this is just a step that I love doing to create some visual interest across the background. I'm following the shape of the heart and the curve of the heart, splattering the paint right on top. And I feel like this just ties everything together and creates these teeny tiny little dots of interest. And you're like, what is that? So I love adding the acrylic paint splatters, but absolutely you don't have to. You could keep it clean and paint free, and they will both look awesome in the end. So I'm going through the Splendid embellishments, and I added a heart-shaped paper clip to the top of both photos, and we love each other, so it's going to be lots of hearts and more hearts and flowers. And so I am going to grab the colorful mini foam thickers and write out "so very much." And one thing I like about these thickers and the foam is that they are adjustable for a time being anyway. So if you don't like where you've placed it, you can just carefully peel it up and put it down where you do want it. So I had originally was having them very wonky and higgledy-piggledy, but in the end I decided to make them more straight. So once I did figure out the placement, I reinforced them with a dab of liquid glue behind each letter so that they're not going to fall off over the years. In Splendid, there's a package of flower sequins and enamel dots. Those come together in the same package. So I am going to add some flower sequins here and there, around and in between and underneath, to add some sparkle and shine. And it's another texture. So we've got the cardstock flowers, and now we've got these shiny plastic flowers, and also the same idea with hearts. So we've got paperclip metal hearts, and I'm going to use cardstock sticker hearts. And I just love having all the different textures. We got foam, we've got paper, like I said, metal and plastic. So all these different textures. Oh, and paint too. Don't forget about the paint. Combined together to create a really interesting and dynamic background. So from in the Splendid collection, I'm just going through and finding things that I can add here and there, like a little typewriter sticker that says love note, and a letter because it's like my love letter, a visual love letter to him. I'm going to add a cluster down here on the bottom right for my journaling. So I've used a banner sticker and a label sticker and a teeny tiny label sticker and a heart. And here it's just never finished. I can always find things to add here and there. So I tucked a pink camera sticker into the top right, a couple tiny sentiment stickers over the paperclip hearts, and a pink envelope sticker with flowers coming out of it, so that also goes along with the typewriter and the love letter theme. So, do I want this? Do I not want this? It says with love, and I couldn't find a spot immediately for it, so I'll just put it back and use it on a different project. This one says sweetheart, and I am going to add this one to bring out some more of the purple color. So trimming off the excess that's hanging over the right edge. So you just flip it over and use a pair of scissors to trim that off. And on the journaling spot, I am going to write my journaling. So I'm using a blue pen to bring out the blues that I've used on this page. There are some different shades of blue in the Splendid collection. And I have sold out of my pre-orders, but do check my shop frequently because I am going to add products. As soon as I get my order, I'll have a bunch of leftovers, so you can pick and choose from Splendid and things that you would like to grab. I also wrote the date on that little label sticker and adding one final flower to continue with the rest of the flowers underneath the cut file. And that, my friends, is the finished layout. I hope you've been inspired by this cut file and all of the different ways that you can use just one design. You can make it large, you can shrink them down and make a whole bunch of them and use them as frames to hold photos, as a large embellishment. I just love cut files, and I hope you've enjoyed this series. Tomorrow is the last video in my 12 Days of Love cut files and process videos. I hope you've been inspired and you picked up my 12 Days of Love cut files. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you tomorrow for the last process video. Have a great day.